As a student of American race relations, as a race scholar, as someone who teaches race and studies race in the U.S., we're often asked to reflect on how far we've come. So we'll have these, 50th anniversary of Brown versus Board of Education, and let's reflect on how far we've come. Well, Brown versus the Board of Education is a perfect example because schools today are actually more segregated than they were in 1954. I'm often struck by how much it's the same. So one big example of that is police brutality, and it's one of the ways that you can really see the connecting line between the Black Power movement and the Black Lives Matter movement. So Black Power was preoccupied in many ways with police brutality. They were young people organizing in communities like Oakland, California, for example, that witnessed extreme police repression in the communities. And in many ways, the tactics and strategies and ideas of the Black Power movement were aimed at how do we live and how do we resist this in what feels like a police state. And it's the exact same thing that young people are saying today in the Black Lives Matter movement. So if you look at a group like the Black Panther Party, well, this is the most well-known organization of the Black Power movement. They were very much about self-help, self-defense, self-determination. And so the sort of images you see of them are armed self-defense, for example. They believed in asserting their right to bear arms, but they also did free breakfast programs for youth. So they said, listen, we have a community that's struggling. Children need to have good nutrition to do well, and so they provided breakfast for youth. And really, they're the precursor to the U.S. government starting to provide free breakfast in schools for kids. They also did monitor police monitoring actions where they would go out and literally police the police and watch and see what happened, try as best they could to try to prevent police brutality. And that's really the forerunner of what we're seeing a lot with the Black Lives Matter movement today. One of the things that is so striking to me when I'm in the archives or I'm talking to people is how much it's still the same.